I'm catfishing America. You just don't get better than this. I'm catfishing America, 'cause I was born to fish. The Tennessee River, the Mississippi mud, there's no other place that I wish I was. Ohio River, Pickwick Lake, the rest of the world's gonna have to wait while I'm catfishing America. You just don't get better than this.
This time on Catfishing America, we're headed to the great states of Illinois and Iowa, to the Quad Cities area, right on the Mississippi River. You know, there's so much to see and do here in the Quad Cities area. I don't know if I'm gonna have a whole lot of time for catfishing. Just kidding. Actually, Captain Jason Kitten and we're gonna be out on the Mississippi and the Rock Rivers looking for flathead and channel catfish. And there's a lot of big fish here in this area. Conditions are good weather-wise. We have had a lot of rain earlier in the week. The water is really low, you know, probably about 3 foot below where it should be, and it kind of dropped fast. Plus, the barometer is about 29.4 to 29.5. As you know, if you're an angler, that's pretty low. And the water temp, it's 77 to 80. It's that spawning. They're not quite done with the spawn. But you know, under the worst possible conditions, I got a feeling we can squeak out some kind of a catfish here in the Quad Cities because there's so much great fishing here available. So to find out how we're going to do that, let's go over and ask Captain Jason Kittner some of the techniques and tactics we might be using here in the Quad Cities area.
So this trip to the Quad Cities area, once again we have several challenging conditions facing us. We've got a low barometer, rapidly dropping river, and once again the spawn is finishing up. Water temperature is right at 75 to 80. The fish should be finishing up. So what we're going to do to combat it on this trip is we're going to run upriver about a mile. There's a dam up there. There's good flow coming out of the dam. It's very highly oxygenated water. We're going to go up there and fish some drop-offs, some current seams, where those fish are going to go to recover after they get done spawning. Some other tactics we're going to use is fishing some riprap banks and some actual spawning structure itself, in case those fish haven't really, decided to move out of the area yet. We've got a wide selection of bait, and I'm sure we're going to get some channels and flatheads to cooperate for us today.
We're not the only ones fishing here in Quad Cities. These white pelicans, really pretty birds. Out here below the dam.
All right, today
our first Quad City channel cat with a casino in the background.
Got a
the dam, locking dam number. I think this is 15, isn't it? Yeah. And I'm gonna gamble that he's on there. Probably not a monster, but he's steady pulling, so I'm gonna let him pull this down, and then, or else I'll just reel down on him next time I know he's pulling. Of course, he stops when I bring you guys into the picture. Let's see, we're swimming towards us. Can never rule that out. We're seeing a lot of white pelicans here below the dam. Must be a lot of bait fish up here in the spillway. There he goes. All right, so I'm just gonna reel my butt off. There we go. Yeah, okay. Just keep that steady pressure here. And this is a circle hook rig. We got some, well, probably about the best depth here in the Quad Cities area is right below this dam. And this little guy's pulling. We got out early this morning and got ourselves some, really small shad. And figuring that, hey, you know, they're gonna bite what's. And Mr. Flathead is up and about. It's nice and early today. Well, a lot of yellow on this flathead. Wow.
That's how we do it here. We'll go channel catfishing and then we just start pulling flatheads in the boat.
That's how we roll. That's how we roll.
That's a pleasant surprise.
Yeah. I'll be there. But look how pretty this is. I'm going to set this down for a second. Oh, sorry, buddy. Sorry, buddy. Let me get a little bit better grip on you. Okay, let me get you out in the sun. Let people appreciate some of that yellow coloration. Look at that. I mean, just beautiful. I'm used to seeing this kind of olive and yellow, like maybe on a bullhead, something like that. But, and a nice little fat belly. So he's up here taking care of business right below the lock and dam. So I'm not going to keep him out too long, but got little parasites or some kind of sort going on. And of course I felt those little barbs getting ready to go inside, so I had to make a decision, me or him, you know. So all right, buddy, I won't keep you any much longer, but I would have sworn the way that was hitting. Channel cat, we're out here, I mean, relatively shallow water. It wasn't a monster bite, it was, one of these things, half loading. And this area has got some great channel catfishes, so of course that's what we expected, but we'll take a flathead. So I think Jace is on deck, so who knows, if the little guy's here, maybe the big guy's here too.
Quad Cities. So much summer fun, it fills 2 states and 4 cities. Enjoy fun and affordable summer adventures close to home. For lodging and travel packages, go to visitquadcities.com. Brought to you by Illinois, mile after magnificent mile.
So here at Catfishing America, we have started using the Never Snag anchor. Until we started using this anchor, several times a year we would donate an anchor to the depths. Very, very simple design, just your basic claw anchor. Only your main hookup point is this washer on the bottom. You run your chain up, put a zip tie on it to the washer that's welded on the top, and that'll hold on to anything. The zip tie is not going to break on just your downward force. We've hung this up in, rocks, timber, rip-off banks. Just you name it, we've hung this anchor up in it, and we've gotten it back every time. Simple demonstration of this anchor. When you're hung up in it, and you can't get it back, pull your boat straight up over the top of your anchor. When your anchor rope is straight down, and it's hung up, just give it a swift pop. That zip tie is going to break. Just pull your boat up, and that anchor will pull right out of the back every time. We haven't lost one yet. We don't think we're going to either. It's right behind the boat, we're just bouncing it on the bottom.
Well, you lead a clean life and good things happen, huh?
Little feller. And our target fish of the day.
We finally got a channel cat.
Finally got us a channel cat. Well, they're built for this current.
Yeah, they are.
There we go.
There he is.
Quad Cities channel cat.
Well, I like that coloration, that grayish. Nice. Real dark. I guess because it's not a real muddy river right now.
Right.
The target fish, Mr. Channellus catechus. Nice job, man. I knew we'd get one sooner or later here in the Quad City.
Outstanding.
Rod holders, everybody's got their own favorites. Everything works out better depending on the size boats you've got, your fishing style, etc. I didn't want to have the big arch that went across the back of my boat because although they're fine, I tend to not use that back half of my boat. I'm giving up 4 feet, 3 feet of boat. It makes it hard to get back in my battery compartments and things like that. So I wanted something that was out of the way, portable, yet catfishing. So here's what I came up with, and it's the Cisco fishing system, rod holder system. This is a 4-rod holder. You can see I've got the 4 rod holders that of course I can adjust as always. But let's say it's time to leave at the, or it's the end of the season, you want to get the stuff off your boat. If I lift up on this pin, this thing slides off and I can take it into the hotel, I can put it in my truck, nobody's going to walk off with it. So it's very modular. Goes back on easily too. I just line up the track and it locks in, not going anywhere. And you can see how thick this metal is. You're not going to be bending this. So very dependable. It's, you know, the way I've mounted it here, it's at an angle in the back of the boat all the way to the back. Doesn't take up any room. It lets me freely operate and just hold back into the boat and still get in all my storage compartments. The next item I want to show you, we'll look right over here to the side. Cisco Fishing System also makes, I really like these. These are very adjustable. I can use these when I'm fishing straight down. I can even angle it down if I were crappie fishing, but I can anchor straight out like so, pull this lever, loosen it up. I can put it at an angle, or if I'm storing them just to run out to a fishing spot and I want it straight up and down, I can do that. Quick and easy. And the Cisco fishing system, this mounts right here in my accessory track. There's little red arrows that show when you're perpendicular or parallel to the channel. We tighten up these big heavy duty thumb screws, and this isn't going anywhere. This is as solid as any rod holder on the market today. There is no other channel mounted system that's tougher than this. Trust me on that. I can pick this up and adjust the angle, and it locks into position. Maybe I want to point towards the back, maybe I want it straight out, maybe I want it a little bit this way, all the way straight forward, whatever. Lots and lots of positions I can place this in. So just lift up, it's on a big spring. If I want to adjust it up and down, put it where I want it, not going anywhere. So these Cisco Fishing System rod holders for the accessory track are the toughest, and they're my personal favorite ever if I'm going to put any kind of rod holder on this accessory track. You need to check out Cisco Fishing Systems for yourself. They make a whole lot more. And I'll be showing you some of those other objects as we go throughout the season. Check them out, Cisco Fishing Systems. So we're taking these candy shad, and there's a current seam here below the dam, and I threw it over there, and I was letting it bounce the bottom, and it got back about as far as I wanted it to go. So I pulled up and let it hit the bottom again, and kaboom, a flathead has grabbed it. The reason I know it's a flathead is I've already had it up near the top, but we're in some pretty tough current. And there he is, nice fish.
Nice fish. I'll take the rod if you want to lip him.
I don't think I want to lip him, but if you hold the rod for a second, I'm gonna grab the net.
Alrighty.
But bouncing the bottom has always been a good technique below dams anyway. So I figure why not? Jason was just trying something different too, so I said, hey, let's just really get creative. And
boy, Don, these Quad Cities channel casts are awful yellow with flat heads.
yeah, when we go channel cat fishing, we don't play around. You know, corner of the mouth. It wasn't a circle hook, because I was planning on doing some hook setting, but he took care of that for me. Real pretty fish, fat, as in I'm up here gorging myself. I'm not going to lift this thing way up and drop it like I did that little tiny one earlier. But, you know, nice respectable fish, probably in that 10, 12 range. Real fat, heavy. And this is really what we were hoping to do here in Quad Cities, is come up here and take advantage of some great channel catfishing and then that bonus flathead. But as it turns out, all we're getting is flathead, so I'm not going to complain, because typically they're a little bit bigger. So you can see how fat that fish is. But hit it really hard. And it was as I was lowering the sinker. So they're real tight to this kind of a rocky bottom, plenty of current. And when you get the right bait in front of them, kaboom. So we'll get him or her back in. And I'm gonna try that again. All right, buddy. Woo! Wow, got me wet on the way out. Didn't even keep it out of the water 5 minutes. But little tiny candy shad. At least that's what Jason calls them. And if Jason calls them, that's, it's good enough for me. Candy, those 2-3 inch, real young shad. But that's what everybody's catching in a cast net. So it must be that that's what the fish and the pelicans and all the birds are eating. So it makes sense that the fish should be biting on that. So I'll get another one on and see if we can't do this all over again.
All right, Don, I'm gonna pan up here to number 3.
You get something going?
We had a little action going. Not so much now. He's one of those camera shy fish.
Camera shy.
As Don was saying, there's the floating casino here at Quad Cities. As you can see, look directly across here, you'll see the red sign. Most dams will have a "Do not pass this barrier," and that's the one on our right. I pan around here to the left. There's the red sign on the left. As long as you don't pass that line, you don't get too many people really.
Well, I know a lot of you are wondering, hey Don, how do you like that new Excel 24-foot big catfishing machine boat? It's big, it's mean, it's lean. I love it. It gets on plane right now, and it's the driest boat I've ever owned. And I've owned Brand X, I've owned some fiberglass Johns. This is the driest boat. This rivals some of those big water, big Great Lake boats that got the giant, gunnels. And this has short gunnels. And, of course, it's also lighter. And in my opinion, faster, gets on plane right now. And all the features that I really need in catfishing. There's always things that we want to do, tweak things, put my own rod holders, put my own this, own that. But today is the first time we've had this out on the big water, the mighty Mississippi, the Big Muddy. And there's big tugboats out on this, and giant barges, all kinds of current, boils, and turbulence over there by the dam. Perform like a trooper. I mean, I really enjoy this boat. Jason loves the boat. There's always things that we would all want to have customized for ourselves, but the good thing about Excel, they'll do it. I mean, that's the great thing about Excel. If there's something that you want and it's an option, trust me. And if it's not an option, tell them about it. Because if enough people want that, they will do it. They want to make the best catfish boat on the market, and I feel they've already done that. I love it. Gets on plane right now. Fishability. I wouldn't have another boat. I've had the others. Tried the rest. Now I've got the best, Excel. You need to check them out on excelboats.net or like them on Facebook.
Is he there, Don?
Yeah, he's just a little fella, but you were fishing against this riprap bank, and that's always good, whether it's for channels or for flatheads. And this was just dink, 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 and then we're using these little tiny shad. There we go.
There he is.
Boy, he's tiny, man. But a cutie. He's a cutie. All right. Which looks like he's been just laying in mud, but this seems rocky. It must be muddy when you get out from the side here. I'll get out a few feet away from the bank. But a cutie, right? But here in the Quad Cities area, we just happen to time this. They've had a lot of rain. It did muddy up the river, but we've had very, very low barometric pressure. I mean, it was 29.4 yesterday, 29.5 today, and don't typically do well when it's that low. In addition to that, I think it's the quarter moon, and I'm sure somebody somewhere in the world thinks you can't catch fish in a quarter moon. So, any other excuses I can think of, Jace? It's just been tough, and it's been tough for everybody, but always good to see that the little fish seem to cooperate much more than the big fish when, you know, conditions are tough like this. But Quad Cities, we've had a blast here, and I tell you what, several fish. I'm gonna let this one get back to business. You know, we didn't, you know, tap out, you know, because we caught, you know, tons and tons of fish. But you know, it's late in the day. I think we're gonna start heading towards the ramp here. But we have done well, and we had a lot of fun. And it's really cool to see all the wildlife here in the Quad Cities area. I think we've seen 4 or 5 bald eagles. I've seen a fox run across the road on my way to the boat ramp. Those white pelicans too, you can't forget that. Muskrats, you name it, all kinds of wildlife in the area. So it's been really cool to see that. Fish below the dam, caught several fish up there, enjoyed that. Lots of current, lots of oxygenated water. So by and large, I think under normal conditions, this would be lights out, because under the worst possible, we've been asking all kinds of people. You know, they had a tournament, you know, I mean, just terrible fish. I mean, just tiny fish, a couple of things. Most people didn't catch anything in the tournament.
Yeah, I think big fish of that tournament we heard was about 18 pounds.
Yeah,
and that was the only fish they caught.
Yeah, and so, you know, it's definitely been tough for everybody, but it's definitely fun to get out here and scout and find out, is there any way you can catch any kind of a fish? We came out here for channels, ended up doing a lot better with flatheads today. Actually caught 1 channel, so, and Jason gets the prize for that, you know, our 1 target fish that he caught. So, but by and large, it's been a great trip out here to Quad Cities. You need to find some time, get out here under great spring, fall, summer conditions. Just, you know, watch the weather, see what the trend has been. Maybe call ahead, ask the Tourism Bureau, what are the river levels, things like that, so you can make your decision whether you're going to come on a weekend, weekday, etc. It's such a big, large area, you don't have to worry about a lot of boat traffic. You know, I know while I've been sitting here, maybe a boat or two have gone by, but this is the weekend, and still, you know, not much in the way of boat traffic. So beat the crowds, get on over here to Quad Cities. I think you're going to have a whole lot of fun. Well, you know, it's a good thing Jason was here. I mean, we had to pull all kinds of moves. I mean, we moved and moved and moved and kept trying new things. And under these really challenging conditions, that's what you have to do. You can't sit on one spot and just hope that you get lucky and hope a fish moves in. It just doesn't work that way. You got to keep trying, keep trying, keep trying, and hopefully something great will happen. And you know it, we got a few fish instead of getting skunked. Flatheads, and really we were kind of targeting channels, really. And of course Jason's the only one that got a channel, so congrats to him. And so fortunately, hey, we had a good variety of bait. Jason had us on all kinds of different scenarios, and that's really what led to us being able to overcome these conditions here in the Quad Cities. So for Catfishing America, I'm Captain Don Sweet along with Captain Jason Kintner, and we'll see you next time out on the water, chasing them whiskers.
Tennessee River, the Mississippi mud. There's no other place that I wish I was. Ohio River or Barkley Lake. The rest of the world's gonna have to wait while I'm catfishing America. It just don't get better than this. I'm catfishing America. 'Cause I was born to fish. I'm catfishing America. It just don't get better than this. I'm catfishing America. It just don't get